question that you asked, Kevin, was because the question was centered around should women just play their position and let their high value man cheat? So,
Well, how about you men don't cheat? They just exercise options.
but here's the thing: exercising option, cheating, whatever you call it, Kevin.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is, my response was in response to that question. Like, wait, what do you mean? So we supposed to just say, okay, because I want a high value man, I'm just gonna sit around and get cheated on, and that should be your expectation, and that's what you should go into the relationship expecting. And
Yes.
no, I disagree with
Yes.
that.
Yes.
I disagree with that completely.
Because here are your options. Okay, let's take it away from 2021 and let's go back to 1200. If you wanted to marry the king, you're going to accept that you'll be the queen, but he's going to have a lot of mistresses. If you don't want it, you can go ahead and marry the butcher, the baker.
I'd be so rich if I had money for every time I've heard a woman state a question like that. Well, I'm just supposed to, so I'm just supposed to, so what am I just supposed to? No. You got a baker, you got cooks, you got regular village people. You don't have to be focused on a king, especially when you don't really know what that means, what you're confessing. And that's why the scriptures say wisdom is before him that have understanding. It's right here. But the eyes of a fool are in the ends of the earth. In other words, you look all over the place for something right here. Stop fighting fights that don't pertain to you. Be regular. You're not a queen. Everybody is not a queen, just like everybody's not a king. But then when you think about what you listen to, your Beyoncés and all these other different people that convince you that you're a queen, you're a goddess, they got all these little animations where you can, I think it's Lensa, I think somebody said, and it looked Marvel like, where everybody, men and women, are using these elements, and they're adding tattoos to you. They're adding all kind of different things to the pictures. Some of them don't even look like you. And you guys don't understand how the metaverse uses that stuff to expose you and open you up. But then later on down the line, you be crying about my likeness and this, that, other. You mean the one that you freely gave? Because all of y'all want to use these titles to cover up the ugliness that you know you face in the mirror every day. And that just tells you the time we live in. Why are you afraid to be yourself? Better yet, a better question, why are you afraid to get to know yourself? You know, I was having a discussion with a close bro of mine. Shout out to my man's Will McCraven. And we had a conversation about what I'm talking about. And he said this to me, and he even posted it. He says the real reason why rascals want to be kings and queens is because they are lazy. And of course, we know my moniker. We know my statement that relationships aren't for lazy folks. He says they don't want to do any work, which is what real love is. Falling in love versus love, the difference is the work, which is one of the reasons why in the poem that I wrote to my grandmother in the homegoing, I said, there was a clause in there where I said, you don't feel, you know, it's not important to feel love, but to do love. So continuing on, he said they don't want to do any work. They want to be served. They don't want to be the village people whom the king would have all gratitude and gratefulness to, because we all need each other. Kings, queens, the village, the knights, the lords, the people that make you laugh, the courts people. We need all that. It's a whole community, but everybody talking about we all kings and queens. Stop it. They don't want to be the village people in the kingdom because those people serve the king and queen. And so you got this make-believe world, these filters and everything else that make y'all believe that everybody is in an elevated position. And because you misinterpret this Bible and you call it Christianity, that ain't what the Bible told you to do. So now you all tie all this stuff in, and you're a bunch of Pharisees and Sadducees, and you're just saying crazy stuff. So let's address a real king in the Bible. So this is 2 Samuel 12, where Nathan, by the leading of God, steps to King David. But he comes to him with a parable, and by the end of the parable, King David's, oh man, this person should be lynched. He should be this. He should repay. He should be judged for his stinginess and blah, 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 blah. And in so many words, where's this man? And Nathan's like, you're the man. It's you. Again, right here in the mirror, right in your face, is you. Because you were freed from the fist of Saul. You were given his daughters, you were given wives, you were given all these things you were given. If that wasn't enough, you could have been given more. But you took what you could not have, even as a king. And so that's what I choose to lock in on today's current time. You got all this beauty that is supposed to be coming out of you that God placed there. And instead of taking the opportunity for iron to sharpen iron, for you to become your best version of yourself, even when you fall, sharpen yourself, jump back up. Yeah, you may have made some bad mistakes, reconcile, put things back together, mend your families, make sure no one leaves this earth without you fixing things. No, instead, you want to be everything but what God gave you to work with. That's the issue with our generation. We want everything we can't have. You're not a king, you're not a queen, but that's what you want. You ain't even in the race, but you want the results of the finish line. And that's what was the one thing that David didn't have that he wanted? He had wives, he had a wife, he had concubines, all of that, but he wanted someone else's wife. So a couple of things are happening there because y'all always want kings. Y'all always want high value men. A plumber's not good enough for you. Somebody that make $20,000 or $30,000 ain't good enough for you when you can get with that person and make something happen. No, that's not good enough for you. Oh, and after you've had about 15 dicks, after you've had about 15 men inside of you, it's not enough to settle down and be with. You claim you don't want to share, but you've shared. You got the same baby daddies. You got the same husbands and ex-husbands and everything else. We are in the adulterous generation that Jesus prophesied of. We're in it. But y'all claim y'all don't share all this other different stuff. I'm going to keep it real. I'm not going to sugarcoat nothing. Because one thing about me, when I die and leave this earth, they're going to say that man emptied himself of everything he had knowledge-wise. He loved himself as far as the gifts God placed in him, and he moved in it. He didn't have to be nobody else. So for me, being me is enough. Being in my lane is enough. I'm cool. It's enough because God placed me there. I know where he put me. I don't need no man to promote me. I don't need no woman to validate me. I don't need none of that. I never will. I don't go out to nobody. I don't seek this out, this, that, out. I don't got to. And it don't matter what one or two people think about a person. You could think that about every individual got people that's interested in them. So what you think about me, what you feel, that it don't matter because I go in the direction of people that come towards me. It's simple math for me. It's simple biology for me. It's not hard and it shouldn't be difficult or hard for y'all. But because y'all want to be other people and y'all want what y'all want, what was the issue? Adultery for a man was going and taking another man's wife. That's why David got in trouble and he made it worse by murder. So David wasn't no whoremonger. David wasn't none of that. He wasn't none of that. All he was somebody who coveted another man's wife. And it takes an extra special piece of evil to dig down in yourself and want something that even the king can't have. Because we don't want to talk about the temptation that comes with being a billionaire Tiger Woods, being a billionaire Michael Jordan. We don't want to talk about the elements of temptation that comes with being a quote unquote high value man. No, we just think that these females think they gonna walk in the door and just demand that Bill Gates only be with them and all this other different stuff. The reason why y'all mad about Nick Cannon is because y'all know that man, regardless of what's going on, is orderly over there. And not a peep is coming from his camp because he got it on lock. But it's always the paupers, it's always the people in the court. It's always the regular little village folks. The people who just can sit around in councils and just murmur and complain. Y'all got the most to say about a place that you'll never get to. And that's okay. There's places I know I'll never get to, but it's all right with me. I don't sit back and covet a person where they are and he got that house and they drive that. If I was Kevin Durant, I'd do this. And a lot of y'all, that's why y'all need to change that word fan, because what is the whole word? The whole word is fanatic. Why would you want to be a fanatic over somebody that play a sport or over a team or anything like that, over a celebrity? Because it make y'all look crazy when y'all judging their pockets. They can do whatever they want with whoever they want to within the limits of what they have attained. But the fact of the matter is, y'all need to, y'all just plain old care too much about people and their stuff. Get your own stuff. And that has to, and whether you like it or not, for a man, that means a lot. You don't worry about who laying in somebody's bed, what's going through their bank account, what they're driving, how many children they having. Y'all even had a nerve to tell people they crazy because they had this many babies and this. Like, y'all just do too much. Y'all do too much. Why? Because y'all don't operate from a position of power. And most of y'all never will. You'll never know what that tastes like. So you have to have all these goofy things to say and this, that, the other. And I know I'm right in some of y'all kitchen. I know I'm right in most of y'all kitchen. And then it's like, when you've chosen a stand, stay there. Stop having a fight knowing you're not even in there, but you just want to be in the room because, ooh, it's entertaining in that room. No, you're no longer there. Be proud, independent, and do your thing.